Hello ladies and gentlemen, we're doing an apartment today for New Year's. My whole plan was to have like a New Year's decorated build, and then I realized I don't really know what that looks like because I just leave my Christmas decorations up for New Year's. But I wanted to do something specifically New Year's kind of esque, and so the big thing that I wanted was windows, and I wanted windows in an apartment in San Francisco because I was kind of going off that like Christmas, New Year's in New York, right? Watched on ball drop. And so I specifically picked this apartment, which I don't think I've ever renoed because it was super fun. It's actually like decently small. And so for everything I wanted to put in there, like it actually felt a little bit challenging, which was really nice. But the reason I picked it initially was because of the windows in the corner. Those big floor-to-ceiling windows. I was like, theoretically, when Sims New Year's comes, I don't actually know. I don't think I've ever played Sims New Year's. I've always like been in the little rag switches and not paying attention or something like that. But if fireworks were to happen, you could lay in bed with your dog and watch the fireworks. That was the idea behind picking this apartment. And this apartment ended up sort of defining its own style because I bulldozed it, as you do, and then it didn't remove any of the wallpaper, which was fine because it kind of told me where the bathroom needed to go because there's not really a great place in this apartment for the bathroom to go. I guess technically I could have swapped the bathroom in the kitchen. Maybe we'll do another render of this apartment and do a different layout. But it didn't remove the wallpaper. And I started to really fall in love with the orange, and I kind of ended up designing around the orange because I oftentimes will pick wallpaper last. Because like most of the time in design-based games, which The Sims technically isn't, it's a life simulator, you can, pick your furniture based on your aesthetic, but a lot of times in this game you have to let your furniture kind of define what it's going to be. I also really wanted to use the new cabinets, and I did go with wood wrapped on the top and just the plain white on the bottom. Very cute. I never build with those cabinets, and now with the new swatches, they're very fun. They have a very unique feel to them now. I don't even know how to describe it, but very, very nice. And immediately I was like, I'm so inspired to recolor these now a million times, which is something I've been way too into lately. But I definitely left most of this apartment orange, went with lots of teals and greens and pinks. It's a brightly colored apartment. It is. But it's also an apartment. Here you can see me checking to make sure I don't block the window. I wanted her to be a style influencer because I've never really played through that career in a way that does it justice. And so I was like, I definitely am going to put her and this apartment in my personal save to play through and just like explore that career. So I needed the YouTube desk, which is not YouTube, it's whatever the Sims version of YouTube is, but let's face it, she's a YouTuber. And so I wanted that in there, but it's a huge desk. It's absolutely massive, and it's on that weird wonk, which I despise, but whatever. But I didn't want it to block the windows too much. But for day to day, obviously you would probably want to be in the windows because it's beautiful natural light. You're very productive when you're in, sunlight, stuff like that, or at least I am. And so that's what I was kind of thinking, but I was like, I also don't want to block the windows for New Year's. Realistically, like if I lived in this apartment for reals, I would just undo the monitors for that night and just tuck them under the desk so I could see, but I really had fun with this apartment. I used the mantle, which I've never used because I didn't think it had slots, and then those candles slotted right in, and I don't know where I got this idea that it didn't have slots, but it doesn't, but it does, and so I ended up really enjoying that as a concept. Like, she went and just found an old mantle and was like, now I have a fireplace. This is the first apartment I've built in a while too where I was like, I could actually see like myself living here. I do that a lot where I build things and I'm like, I'm building it how I would want it to be, because obviously that's my preferred style, is the easiest for me to build, right? That's how it would work. But this was the first one where I was like, no, this absolutely feels like what would end up happening in like my real life apartment, because I'm very much a found furniture kind of person. I've talked about this before, I do have like a fancy furniture set in here. It was a gift in my space with like a dresser and a chest of drawers and stuff like that. But in general, when I'm doing up a space, I'm a found furniture kind of person. I'm like, this is cool. I found it for $3 at a garage sale. It's my favorite piece ever. And this apartment definitely kind of has that vibe. Also, I got to use the new swatches for the appliances. I love the blue. It is such a good blue. It is such an attractive blue. It is very calming. It is so nice. And I know they're like not great appliances, but they're so pretty. It makes me want to use them more. So, and then I made a little yoga space because I would imagine like in a city, you don't have a lot of quiet spaces. So I would imagine she needed a little space like that. Struggled really hard to decorate this divider bookshelf, which is usable, side note. I did test it because you pick books from the bedside. But I wanted it to feel like a studio that she had split up so she could entertain. Obviously, it's not an apartment for like dinner parties or anything like that. Oh, and then I briefly got excited because I realized if you size it up, you can make a mural. Side note, that's for a different project. But this obviously is an apartment where you would have like fancy dinner parties or anything. But I wanted it to feel like she could have a couple of her best friends over. And if she didn't make the bed, it was probably fine. You know, that kind of thing. And so I definitely wanted a big split in there without putting a wall up. Art was really hard in this too because there's such big, beautiful windows that I didn't want to like block them or make it too cluttered, but I really wanted it to not feel empty and barren in here. Also, if you just heard a buzz, I apologize. I didn't hit my phone. And then, of course, the cutting boards in the kitchen because I don't know how to not use those now that I found those. Okay, also, I'm going to put a little wooden thing up, I think, somewhere around in here, probably near the end. I found them in the Christmas build, so you'll see me use them a lot in the Christmas build. They're little, like, wooden boxes that have Christmas stuff on them, like, probably decoupage. I have some of those in real life, and I've never seen those in The Sim. I'll point it out when I get there at the end, but I just saw something similar that reminded me of it. And I got so excited, because I love those. Like, I have 1, 2, 3, 4... a minimum of 4. I think there's one more in here, but I'm not seeing it at the moment. Of those little, it's literally just like a wooden box, and it's like, it's not a box to put things in. It sits up on its side, and it's got like a decoupage saying on the front, and then like cute stuff on the side. I'll point it out when you see it. But there's this hung up. I've never seen that before because it's a Christmas holiday thing, and I don't know why my brain just thought it was a banner or a flag or something, and then I clicked it, I think mostly by accident. When I was doing the Christmas ask, I was just trying to like vary my Christmas stuff, you know, and it's so cute, and I'm like, why is it only a Christmas decoration? If you put a couple more swatches on this could be such a cute office decoration, such a cute, you know, living room decoration. It's such an adorable little piece, and it sizes up kind of weird, but like you could even make the sized up stuff work. I got really excited about that, and so now I've been thinking a lot about like, what if I just did a million recolors of that, because it's such a cute little piece, but it's only for Christmas. Well, or I guess winter holiday of your choice. I'm not being very open-minded here. But, and then this blue bathroom, going back to the build, it was a choice. I did not go in with the intention to have a navy bathroom, but I like the idea of it. I've been reading And Then There Were None. Again, I read it almost once a year at this point. There's a reason for me telling you this. But I also played a video game when I was little. I still own it. It was on the Wii. It was And Then There Were None, but in video game form. I never finished that game, but the way they styled the house in that game for the mystery, it was really pretty, and one of the things was all of the bathrooms were entirely tiled in one color. So like one was a cream bathroom, but floor to ceiling tiles. One was a navy bathroom, one was pink, I believe, one was green, very much in that sort of like 1910s, 1920s style. Very, very pretty. And so, like, I've been thinking about that bathroom a little bit because I've been rereading And Then There Were None, and I think that's what happened with this bathroom. I think this bathroom got a little bit of, like, an Agatha Christie treatment accidentally, because that's just where my brain was, like, big, bold tiles. Side note, if you're looking for a murder mystery to read, I highly advise reading Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. It was given to me by a 3rd grade teacher. She was like, this is not a little kid's book, but you don't read like a little kid, so I think you should read this book. And I didn't. It's become like a yearly tradition. That, and of course Sherlock Holmes. Always Sherlock Holmes. Those are my spooky season books. I'm not big on horror. I'm not big on like on thrillers. I tend to like cozy mysteries is what they're called, where it all works out in the end. You know? Which I don't think Agatha Christie, you can say that, but it's a good book. It's a really good book. I really enjoy it. And even though I know what happens, I will read it every year, you know, ad nauseum. So, but that's the point of the bathroom, and saying that was, it's kind of that navy blue, because I was thinking about that navy blue bathroom in that game. I never finished that game. That game was hard, not from a solve the mystery kind of way, but from at least little kid Amanda was not understanding the instructions. And so there was a lot of like, go find this. And I'd be like, I have never seen this in my life. What are you talking about? But now I want to go hook up the Wii and play that. I want to figure out where the Wii is. In the Move, I lost so many things. Not lost, they're just like when you move into a space that's already occupied by other people, a lot of times your boxes just go in the closet, which is not a big deal. But like, there's so many things where I'm like, I owned this at one point. Where did this go? Or in some cases, like recently, why am I buying more of this? Because I owned this. But I did find a lot of my boxes recently. I just need to find time to go through them. But here we are at the screenshots, and I've gone on a bird walk again. Oh my goodness. But I love this apartment. We didn't talk about it a whole heap, but I love the way this apartment looks. And it is all decorated for New Year's, but if you took the decorations down, it's a lot cleaner and just a nice place to live. And the sim is, I'm bragging about her even though this isn't her video. I think she's really cute and kind of goes with it. So I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. This video should come out pretty close to New Year's, so I hope you have or have had a really good New Year's and that your 2022 is fabulous. And I will talk to y'all in the new year.